A. Lange Söhne occupies a special place in the world of high-end watchmaking. And it's not often that we get to bring one of the brand's watches into our office. What we have here today is a chronograph. But it's not just any chronograph. This is the brand new Rattrapante Honeygold homage to F.A. Lange. Now when you say Rattrapante and Lange in a sentence, most watch enthusiasts will have some sort of reaction. After all, this is the brand that debuted the world's first double Rattrapante in 2004 with the double split, and the first triple Rattrapante in 2018 with the triple split. So it might be hard to comprehend that this is the first time we've seen the complication independent of any other in a Lange wristwatch. But it's true. This is now the thinnest watch from the brand to incorporate a split seconds mechanism. It's also the first Lange chronograph to be housed in Honeygold, the company's proprietary extra hard gold alloy. Honeygold is said to be harder than platinum, and Lange has used it very sparingly since its 2010 introduction. Only limited edition watches have featured it in the past decade. Here, the case has a diameter of over 41 millimeters, and a thickness right around 12.5 millimeters. For the very first time, Lange has chosen to combine the Honeygold case with a black dial made of solid silver. Matching the case metal, we have gilt accents placed on the dial as well. The only visible part of the watch that isn't in gold or black are the 4 red accents, each placed at the pole of the minute track. These bring a punch of contemporary color to the overall very traditional design. There's another first on the dial that's easy to miss. It's the arrangement of the twin subdials for running seconds in elapsed 30 minutes. What's new here is that it's now vertical, positioned at 6 and 12 o'clock. The result is perfectly symmetrical. Of course, no discussion of an A. Lange Söhne watch is complete without a focus on the movement, which is based on the caliber found inside 2013's 1815 Rattrapante perpetual calendar. You'll find a number of characteristic decorations associated with traditional glashütte watchmaking present in the caliber L101.2. These include a hand-engraved balance cock decorated with Lange's signature floral technique, gold chatons mounted by heat-blued screws, and sweeping hand-polished bevels. If you're familiar at all with what goes into the construction of a more traditional chronograph, you might recognize a few familiar parts inside the Rattrapante Honeygold. Most notable is the column wheel mechanism, which engages the start, stop, and reset of the elapsed timekeeping hands. But wait, there's 2 of them? That's right, one for the normal running of the chronograph at 9 o'clock, and one for the split seconds hand in the center of the movement on top of the escapement. This secondary column wheel is connected to another wheel placed on top of the central chronograph wheel. When the chronograph is first started, both of these center wheels turn in sync. But once the split seconds functionality is engaged through the 10 o'clock pusher, a pair of clamps snap down on the split seconds wheel, stopping the Rattrapante seconds hand in its tracks on the dial. The chronograph seconds hand continues its advance, but if you press the split seconds button again, the clamps release their grip on the upper wheel, and the Rattrapante seconds hand snaps back into position perfectly alongside its partner as it continues around the dial. On top of all that, it's simply awesome on the wrist. The watch isn't flashy, but it's attention-grabbing in the way a split seconds chronograph cased in precious metal should be. The weight is absolutely lovely, giving a touch of constant presence without being overwhelming. And thanks to its relatively slim and compact case profile, it certainly passes as a dress chronograph. Wearing the Rattrapante Honeygold around the Hodinkee office for a few days caused me to stop and consider a few things. One of the most relevant being just how out of whack the current demand for stainless steel sport watches is, especially when there are watches like this being released for around the same price. Of course, it wasn't long ago that Lange introduced the Odysseus, its own contender in the stainless steel sports segment, and we've since seen that watch increase in both demand and value. But to me, the Rattrapante Honeygold is the antithesis to that hype. It shouldn't even have to be said, but no one fortunate enough to buy one of these watches new from the boutique is looking to flip it and make a profit. When I look at this chronograph, at the fit and finish of the movement, at the gilt dial detailing, and at the soft warmth of the Honeygold case, I can see how 175 years of German watchmaking history have led to this point. The connection to F.A. Lange's original vision for Saxon watchmaking feels more alive than ever at this moment. And I especially love that, over 175 years later, there's still no mistaking this watch for anything but a Lange.